Katarina. I'm a sophomore here at Malone University, and my majors are secondary integrated language arts education and global and international studies. I also have two minors, which are Spanish for the professions and music. So, some things I love to do outside of class time when I'm not in school are I love to explore with my dog here. Her name is Sadie. She's a 3-year-old mini golden doodle. She loves exploring parks, and we actually have taken her out of state too. So I love doing that, and I also love to play music. So I've been playing violin for around 15 years now, and I recently have a new violin. It's my electric, and I just got it added to my collection. So I played that at my church and hopefully here at Malone soon. Other things I love to do when I'm not in class or studying is I love to read books. So whether it's paper or online, I like all kinds of books. I also love exploring coffee shops. I'm a huge coffee lover, except like straight black coffee, but if you have any recommendations, I'd be open to hearing them. My first experience with social media was Facebook. I joined Facebook back in September of 2019, which was the second month of my freshman year of high school. I wasn't friends with anyone I knew at school, just my dad and a couple family members. I never posted anything myself. I just scrolled through other people's posts and liked their stories and their posts. So overall, I didn't really see much hate because I had curated my feed to be tailored to me, and it was a really positive experience. But then come junior and senior year, I got Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter, so I started seeing a lot more of various and diverse kind of medias all in one spot, and it was a lot. I kept getting Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter notifications until eventually it got overwhelming to the point where I just turned them all off, and I still really haven't turned a lot of them back on just because it gets overwhelming to consume that much information in a short period of time. My first experience as a media producer actually was during my junior and senior year of high school when I started creating carousel posts and reels and stories on my Instagram pages and also my Facebook, just to share the memories that I was making that year. Also, recently I took an unpaid position at a nonprofit establishment to kind of do their digital media and digital design side of things. So I create flyers for them for events and things that they have going on. And my most recent post was uploaded to their Instagram a while ago and recently received almost 8,000 views. So it is definitely reaching a mass audience. And finally, my experience as a media citizen. When I was little, I used to attend family dinners, and I was always hear the adults and everyone else talking about, how the news and the politics and the newspapers and books and all this media would affect their daily lives, and how everyone was always talking about it. I never really understood that, so at that age, I usually just tuned it out. But now that I've become educated on these things, I actively try to participate in these conversations and give an educated opinion about them, because now I understand what they're talking about, and I live that life every day. My uncle used to be the dean at Kent State University down in New Philadelphia, so we always talk about college life and administration and higher education and the role that media plays in that, and it's always a very interesting conversation, and I always walk away with more questions than answers. Regarding my expectations for the course, I don't really have any expectations. I just kind of really hope to gain a better understanding of how the existence of mass media actually affects our society and our roles in that society. I really want to know how my role as a media consumer, producer, and citizen has an effect on the environment and the people around me and how I interact with that. I also really want to know how the media tends to shape and reinforce cultural values and attitudes, as was mentioned in the syllabus, because I think that'd be a really interesting point of view to know. My chosen mass media text is The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien, and the movie picture was created by New Line Cinema. It is about a Dark Lord, Sauron, and his armies trying to take over all of Middle-earth, which is the world that the book is setting in. And at the center of all of that are two little hobbits, which are pictured on the back, Frodo and Sam, and they are trying to take the ring back to its original creation place, which is Mount Doom. And once it is returned, everything will be set right, and the world will be without evil again. And it really impacted my understanding of media because my pastor at my church, he was a huge Lord of the Rings fan growing up, and so he references it in a lot of his sermons. And he described in here there's a fortress called Helm's Deep, And when Sauron's army is about to overrun their city, they retreat into this fortress, and it is completely unbreakable. No one and nothing can get in. And so he referenced it almost as God, as he's our source of peace and strength when bad things are happening, as well as in the book. And he referenced it to Psalm 62, and then after that, I started going through, and I didn't realize how many biblical references are actually in the books, even in the series as a whole. And it kind of made the book significant to me, which ties into number 5, but because when I was little reading it, I read this book kind of at a younger age, and I didn't really appreciate the classic literature of it. I just saw it as, oh, good and evil, good can triumph over evil. But now that I see it, it's kind of like the return of the king is similar to Jesus returning, and all will be set right. So it's a very biblical understanding for me, and other people take it differently, but I kind of see it from a biblical lens, and I really love the book.